this time we bring you Citizenship. Brother Pete Anamo is joining us in a few seconds. He's already in the studios. Brother Pete Anamo of Restore Concept Faith is joining us, and then we're looking at responsibilities of the citizenship right here this Monday. It's exactly a quarter to 10. Brother Pete, good morning.
Yes, sir. How are you?
Great to have you.
Wonderful. Thank you.
How's Restore Concept doing?
Oh, very great. Restore Concept is getting big response. Yeah. Yes, definitely. People are going to be restored. People are surprised, Yes. To your listeners, we salute them this morning. And as usual, this is citizenship. Remember that we talked about citizenship last week, and we talked about two types of citizenship. We talked about the temporal citizenship, which is the citizenship to Ghana, citizenship to any country that you belong to. That is the temporal citizenship. That is the physical citizenship. But there is a permanent and an eternal citizenship. That is what every man must work hard to get. Very, very important. Every citizenship every human being has will last just for a temporary time. That is why you are human. The word human is a compound word made of humus and man. Humus stands for the body that is made out of the clay, and man is the Greek or the Hebrew word isha, which is the spirit that God called man. Is the spirit that God called man. Now, your normal citizenship, which is the citizenship you have to your country. Today we are going to look at your citizenship responsibility or your duty as a citizen. Before we talk about that, your citizenship creates an office for you. Every citizen has an office, and it's a natural office that belongs to you because it has powers. It has all kinds of things that belongs to you. And that is the first thing you must know as a citizen, that you have an office. Your office is powerful. Your office is very, very authoritative. That is what you must know. And because it is an office, you have some responsibilities to take charge of. You have some responsibilities to take duty of. And that is what we are going to look at. The first responsibility that a citizen must have to his country is to support and defend the Constitution. To support and defend the Constitution. In the first place, what is a constitution? A constitution is the legal contract that holds you to your nation, and that makes your nation hold you back. That is what makes human beings live peacefully, rightfully, benefiting everything that they need to benefit as a citizen to a country. But that citizenship has an office, as we mentioned earlier on, and that office carries responsibilities. And the first and the famous and the most important responsibility that you as a citizen must be ready to take charge of is to support and defend the Constitution. That is why we don't want to welcome any coup. You remember it happened in Turkey. It was the common citizens that fought the battle. It wasn't the military. The military came in later. The ordinary citizens, because they knew their rights and their responsibilities, they are supposed to support the Constitution. They are supposed to defend the Constitution. And today, as we go in the season of election, it is your responsibility as a citizen to defend the Constitution of Ghana, so nobody can create confusion and bring any civil war. It is your responsibility as a citizen. That is why you need to do everything possible to defend and to support the Constitution. Somebody will say, what am I supposed to do? You are with people in your community. You are with family. You are with friends. Some of them will be talking some evil plan in the time of election, and you will hear it. Report them. Let the police pick them up for questioning. When they are questioned, they will be frightened, so they can't exhibit their diabolic agenda, their evil agenda that will put this nation in a place where we will all not want it. I don't think anybody wants to disrupt the peace of this country. We don't want to be traveling when it is time for election. Many people will be traveling because they are not sure whether there will be peace. But I tell you, as a citizen that is responsible, if you don't know, I am telling you, you have an office and you are responsible to take duty of defending the Constitution so that your office will function. It's unfortunate that the majority of our citizens are ignorant. They don't even know their rights because of the level of literacy in the country. But as time goes on, it is the job Restore wants to take to educate people, because people need education. People are in the villages, they have not been to school, does not mean they don't have brain. They think. I tell you, sometimes you go to the village, some of the ideas the villagers have is even powerful than people in the city. People in the city are just employed to some companies and they just earn some income, and that is all. There are people that create funds back in the village. My mother was in the village and she could raise so much fund to find job for my father in the city. An uneducated woman, so many years ago. And today, if people should be given more education, the Constitution is your right. Get the book, buy it, it's not expensive. Get it. I even pray that one day we will distribute that book to every school child. It is good for the children to read it before they even grow up, to know the rights and the responsibilities they need to have taken charge of as citizens. So as a citizen, that is the first responsibility you have, to support the Constitution, to defend it. To defend it means you have to come out, and that's why you must report people planning things. If you see some suspicious movement, report it and make sure the police takes charge of that. Sometimes the police have the difficulties of having witnesses. People don't want to go and be witness. I don't want any trouble. No. Look, when you do that, the biggest assembly will come and we will be running helter-skelter. What I'm worried about is always the women and the children. Look at what is happening in Syria. Innocent children suffering, innocent women walking in the forest just to escape, traveling on boats with overloading, and they drown. Do you want to be that way treated? No. We don't want to go to no country. We want to be in this country. Your country is your property. It's your right to defend it. Go and vote peacefully. Don't stay around. When it is time to count, you can go. When you go, there's limit. The police will tell you don't go beyond. Don't go beyond. Just obey and do what you are supposed to do. And obeying the laws of the city and the local areas and the country is a responsibility that connects to you supporting and defending the Constitution. The Constitution is what keeps all of us living peacefully, happily, moving in and out. Nobody blocks the traffic. It is a constitutional order that we must do everything to defend. So the best thing you must be thinking of and dreaming every day as a citizen is, how do I defend and support the Constitution? That is what we must be thinking of. That people in Turkey did it, and we can also do it and even do it more, so that when somebody wants to disrupt the Constitution, it shall not stand, it shall never come to pass. That is your job as a citizen. Now, looking at the eternal citizenship, this is temporal citizenship. You are a nation. Citizenship is a temporal one. I want you to know it's a temporal one. Remember, you are human, and human is a compound word with two words. Your humanness is the citizenship we have just finished talking about, which is temporal. Your man side is the spirit, and you need a spiritual citizenship. That is the reason why Jesus came. Jesus didn't come and bring religion. It is unfortunate that people are relating Jesus with religion, making noise and making ministries, and it is all about religion. It is wrong. Jesus did not bring religion. For your information, Jesus came and met religion here. Actually, religion started way back in Genesis. You remember Cain and Abel? They started religion. Religion is an idea that man has to reach God. But God said, no, you can't get to me unless I make provision for you to come. So God made the provision and he sent Jesus. That is why Jesus said, repent in Matthew 4:17, his first statement, which is a press release. The media will tell you that is a press release, which means the total summary of the whole project. And what he said was, repent. Repent means change your mind, for a kingdom has come. What is a kingdom? A kingdom is a country. And I know people will be surprised. Really? Yes. The word kingdom means a king and his domain or his territory. That means a country. So he said, repent, I've brought a country from heaven. I've brought a country from the spirit world. That is the citizenship that is very, very important. During the week, we lost one great politician, a woman. Very sadly. I love women to be in politics. I wish more than half of the parliament will be women. Because women are better. I tell you, they are better. They think about children. So we are more safe when we have women in leadership. You know, but we lost this great politician. It is a blow. But the question is, did she check to make sure her spiritual citizenship was upright? Jesus came because our spiritual citizenship is very important. That is why he said, the words I speak to you have life. They have life. If you don't look at it, he said, if you don't believe me, you don't have life. Which life? The citizenship that you need to live in the spirit world. If you die, that is not the end. Nobody should deceive you. You are spirit. Spirits don't die. It is your flesh that will pass away. Your flesh will expire. That is when you die. The longest man lives 900 and over years, but he finally died. You need a spiritual citizenship. That is why you need to contact Restore to help you, because in this short time of citizenship talk, we cannot tell you much, but you need a spiritual or eternal citizenship. That is what we call eternal insurance. You need to make sure you have your internal insurance connected to your spiritual citizenship. And Jesus said to a man who came to ask, he was a religious man, Nicodemus. He came and said, how can I be part of your country? He said, you need to be born again. Unfortunately, religion has misunderstood what Jesus said and passed that which they have misunderstood to their followers. What did they tell them? They said, you need to be born again. And somebody said, oh yes, I want to be born again. He said, say this after me. How can you tell somebody to say something after you? That is wrong. That is religious ritual. It's a ritual. The person must go and think about what he has heard and then be able to now decide whether, do I want to change my life? What is the benefit of changing my life? Being born again is not a ritual exercise that people are doing in religious circles. It is some personal thing. Jesus told the man didn't understand, and he tried to tell the man that, look, when you are born again, you can only see my country. You cannot be part of it. And he said, if you want to see, you want to enter, then you need to be born of water and of the spirit. We will have time to talk more about this, being born of water and of the spirit, so that you can get assurance to your citizenship, which is eternal, which is everlasting. And that is the most important one, more powerful than your physical and temporal citizenship. And that is what we are sharing today. The Lord richly bless you.
Brother Peter, thank you so much for your time this morning in citizenship.
Yes, sir.
You've talked about the two kinds of citizenship.
Yes.
Temporal and permanent.
Yes.
Sometimes also eternal.
Yes.
It's the most important.
Most important.
And you're saying that people have to work hard
Exactly.
to acquire the permanent.
That's right.
How do they?
The man who brought the country told the disciple was shocked and asked him, Master, is it only few people that can be citizens? He said, look, strive hard to enter through the narrow gate. And for this type of citizenship, it's not like what we do in our national citizenship. No, national citizenship, you can bribe and be a citizen. You can pay. People pay and become citizens of other countries. People do it. But when it comes to this, no connection. No connection. It is truthfulness. It is coming out right to say, I am ready to make a U-turn of my total life. Every life I've ever lived, I'm going to dump them, throw them away. Every ideology, every doctrine, every intellectual things I have put in my brain, I'm going to cast them out. Then you become born again. That will let you see the country. But when it comes to entering and being part of that citizenship, then you need to go to the next step, which is to be born of water and of the Spirit. Our time cannot permit that. Maybe another time we will go further and be able to explain and expand, because it's very, very important. We need to take time, make sure people get it and get it well. Whoever you are, wherever you are, it doesn't matter the kind of religion you are part of. Let me tell you, if you don't work about your eternal citizenship, you are doomed, because religion does not talk much about eternal citizenship. Religion talks about come and follow, we are going to God, we want to die and go to heaven. No, it is not about that. You will go to heaven, it's not about that. It is whether you have that citizenship. If you have the citizenship, you'll be assured on earth. Jesus said, and I'll give you the keys of the kingdom of heaven. Whatever you decide, it will be decided on earth and the eternal. That is powerful. Very, very powerful. Yes.
The last thing I'd like to touch on is when you said one will say something and the other one who's getting into becoming a citizen has to repeat after him.
Yeah.
It's an initiation, isn't it? It's a starting point.
You see, it's very, very wrong, because you are not dealing with physical, you are dealing with spiritual, and the spiritual is got to do with the mind, which is heart. The mind does not deal with spiritual things that way. The spiritual thing must be an inner feeling. You must get the inner check, the inner decision, not somebody to tell you, say this after me. That is why Jesus never told Nicodemus, say this after me. Jesus never told him. He said, you need to be born again. And even if you are born again, you can only see. And you need to be born of water and of the Spirit. Jesus told him there is a process.
Brother Pete,
yes.
We'll make it again.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Yes, exactly.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you.